Deep in the silent wild of Tanzania, there lives a people who do not depend on supermarkets, factories, or technology. Here, life is still written by the hand of nature, and the weapon of the hunter. For the Hadzabe, a bow is not just a tool. An arrow is not just a stick. These are symbols of survival, knowledge passed through blood, and the final line between hunger and life. Today, we witness how death is carved from wood, stone, fire, and pure human skill.
In the northern reaches of Tanzania, just beyond the bustling tourist trails, lies a quieter world. A world where the rhythms of life are still set by the rising sun, the whisper of the wind, and the call of wild animals. Here, in the dry savanna near Lake Eyasi, lives the Hadzabe, one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer tribes on Earth. For thousands of years, they have lived almost entirely off the land. No farms, no permanent houses, no written records. Their history is told through stories, songs, and the passing of skills from one generation to the next. In this journey, we'll step into their world, discover their traditions, and witness how they are adapting to a rapidly changing planet.
The morning begins long before the sun lifts itself above the horizon. In the quiet stillness of the savannah, the Hadzabe hunters rise. Their bodies are lean, hardened by a life lived in rhythm with the land. Their bows, carved from strong acacia wood, and their arrows, tipped with poison from desert plants, are more than weapons, they are extensions of their very being. Before setting out, there are no loud conversations, no unnecessary movements. Only a quiet acknowledgement of the day's purpose. Each man knows his role, each gesture is practiced from childhood. As the first rays of golden light spill across the grasslands, they move out together, blending into the land like shadows. To the Hadzabe, this is not simply a hunt, it is a way of survival, a tradition, a living bond with ancestors who once walked the same trails centuries ago. Patience becomes their greatest weapon. Hours can pass without a single shot released. The hunters stalk silently, their bodies weaving between trees, their feet careful not to snap a twig or disturb dry leaves. Their eyes narrow, scanning shadows for movement. Their ears catch whispers of the forest that most people would never hear. For them, hunting is not reckless pursuit. It is art, it is waiting, it is blending into the land until even the animals are unaware of their presence. One wrong move, one loud breath, and the chance is gone. So they wait, crouched low, muscles tight like coiled springs. In this silence, time feels stretched. Every second becomes heavy, every heartbeat louder. Then, with the sudden grace of a hawk, a hunter raises his bow, the hunt has begun.
Generation after generation, Hadzabe knowledge flows not through written words or classrooms, but through songs, stories, and the living rhythm of daily life. Their history is not kept in books, nor carved in stone, it lives within their people. It moves like the wind through the tall grasses, whispered from elders to children, from the experienced hands of hunters to the curious eyes of the young. Boys begin their training early. As soon as they can walk with balance, they are handed small bows, their first arrows carved from slender branches. Under the patient eyes of their fathers, uncles, and older brothers, they learn to aim, not just with their hands, but with their ears and hearts. They are taught to listen to the rustle of leaves, to follow the faintest tracks in the dust, and to move through the bush as silently as the animals they hunt. Each hunt is a lesson, each arrow a step toward becoming a guardian of the land. Women, too, are masters of knowledge, keepers of secrets woven into the landscape. From a young age, they walk the bush with their mothers and grandmothers, learning to identify edible roots buried beneath the earth, fruits hidden among the thickets, and medicinal plants that can heal wounds or soothe fevers. Their memory of the land is encyclopedic. Each plant has a name, a purpose, and a season. For generations, the Hadzabe have lived as skilled hunter-gatherers, moving silently through the wild terrain of northern Tanzania. Their survival depends on their sharp instincts, deep knowledge of the land, and their ability to read the language of the bush, a language written in tracks, broken twigs, scents carried by the wind, and the faintest echoes of animal movement. The hunt begins early, before the sun grows hot and the animals retreat into the shadows. A small group of hunters, often barefoot and lightly dressed in animal skins, gather near the fireside. They carry simple but powerful weapons, bows made from local hardwood, and arrows tipped with sharpened iron or dipped in natural poison. Each arrow is carefully crafted, for here, accuracy means survival.
Tolemasi tamates dang erailo ekopo angakot kanga kot na shamnet. Ana kiter nangikar kangikaru na ibukore kotere esi kangi tungadang.
Akuji kang yakapolo ni kang.
Alogera alope kangalo. Armor aki muja.
No bricks. No machines. Just hands, sticks, and wisdom passed down for centuries. Herb fire.
The last hunter-gatherers of East Africa, the silent guardians of Lake Eyasi. Here, life is not measured in hours or years, but in the rhythm of the earth, in the crack of the bowstring, in the whisper of the wind that carries the scent of prey, in the heartbeat of the wild that guides their every step. In the golden heart of Africa, where the winds whisper through the dry acacia trees, and the sun paints the horizon with its fire, there live a people whose story runs deeper than time itself. They are the Hadzabe, the last hunter-gatherers of East Africa, the silent guardians of Lake Eyasi. Here, life is not measured in hours or years, but in the rhythm of the earth, in the crack of the bowstring, in the whisper of the wind that carries the scent of prey, in the heartbeat of the wild that guides their every step. The Hadzabe hunters sit quietly, and prepare their weapons. Their arrows are not toys. They are life, survival, tradition passed from ancestors who walked these same plains thousands of years before. The Hadzabe do not walk into the bush blindly. They prepare with precision. First, they straighten the arrow shafts by hand, using the wood of Kamafora or Gruya. These trees are chosen not by chance, but by wisdom from the elders. Trees with strength, flexibility, and memory. Each stick is heated gently over a small fire, and slowly bent straight, because a perfect arrow must fly true like a thought in the mind. Then comes the craftsmanship of the arrowhead, the sharp tip carefully shaped from metal, bone, or sometimes stone. They grind and sharpen it until it can slice the wind clean. And then, the most sacred part, the arrow poison, a dark paste made from the sap of the desmodium plant. Only few know how to collect it, how long to heat it, how long to mix it.
Alogera alope kangalo. Armor aki muja bunge sitolemo kopo kitobwa kiong na boa la karaka ikipur na kumkutun kentama. Tolemasi tamates dang erailo kopo angakot kangakot na shamnet. Ana kiter nangikaru na ibukore kotere esi kangi tungadang.
Akuji kang.
Kiter nangikaru na ibukore kotere esi kangi tungadang.
This is knowledge guarded with the respect of a holy ritual. They smear the poison carefully around the arrowhead, not on the wood, only where it will pierce flesh and deliver death quickly. Every arrow is personal. Every arrow carries intention. Every arrow is a silent promise that today, there must be meat for the women and children. The Hadzabe do not own the land. They belong to it. Every tree, every animal, every gust of wind is part of their heartbeat. They remind the modern world of a truth we've long forgotten. That humanity's oldest wisdom still lives, hidden between the thorns and the shadows of Lake Eyasi. They are not just hunters. They are storytellers of the soil. Keepers of the flame. Children of the wind. This is their world. The world of the Hadzabe. Where life is still wild, and every breath is sacred. The arrows are like the hunter's own voice, each one built for a purpose. No two arrows are the same. Each shaft is cut, shaped, and balanced by hand. If you look closely, you will see the difference in the heads, the weight, the feathers. There are arrows for tiny wild birds, light and quick, meant to move fast through the bushes. There are arrows for monkeys, heavier, sharper, designed to break through tough muscle when they leap between trees. There are arrows for baboons and antelope. These ones are deadly, structured to pierce deeper, to drop a powerful animal in its tracks. And then, there are the poison arrows. A Hadzabe hunter gathers the sap of toxic desert plants, mixes it with secret ingredients only the elders know. He boils it carefully, he stirs it slow, because this poison is not play. It is treated like sacred danger. A single drop is enough to take down a big animal. These arrows demand silence. These arrows demand caution. A Hadzabe hunter never forgets which arrow carries poison, because he understands something the modern world has forgotten. This is not just hunting. This is balance. This is life and death in his hands. A hunter knows every arrow he carries, because in the wild, one arrow can bring meat for the entire camp. And one mistake can bring disaster. So he walks with awareness. He hunts with intention, and his arrows, his voice, speak for his skill, his wisdom, and his responsibility to feed his people. It begins as a simple branch in the forest, but only the right branch. The hunter knows which wood bends but does not break. He knows which trees carry strength, which trees hold memory, which trees deserve to become a weapon. He cuts that wood by hand, using only basic tools, and begins shaping it slowly, patiently, smoothing every curve with respect. Then he dries it, he cures it near controlled heat, letting fire pull out the moisture without burning or cracking the wood. He rubs animal fat into it, he sands it with rough leaves or stones, until this bow is not just wood anymore, it becomes part of him. Many Hadzabe hunters keep one bow for years. That bow travels with him through seasons of hunger and seasons of plenty. It remembers every animal he ever killed. It remembers every hunt that failed and every hunt that saved lives. To outsiders, it looks like a simple stick. But to the Hadzabe, it is identity, it is what separates a hunter from a child. The bow gives him the ability to provide. Without the bow, he is empty-handed. With the bow, he carries the power to feed his children, his wife, his elders. The bow speaks, even when the hunter is silent. It says, I am responsible. I am skilled. I can feed my people. Through this weapon, the Hadzabe preserve one of the oldest human skills on Earth. They hunt, not with guns or machines, but with a tool shaped by ancient hands, a bow that represents freedom, survival, and the proud tradition of a people who still live by the hunt.